Assalamualaikum everyone. Okay, there are some questions with reference to the final uh, assignment or project. So it's basically because what the idea that I have is that you'll have to present it. So you don't have to actually do, um, but I think that exact layout of the week will be shared, how that will be carried out, because as I find it in here, it's that gratitude, okay, alumni sharing next steps, that is one of the things. So for that, I would like uh, share your campaigns, advocacy campaigns in a document form or a PowerPoint or a poster. All the formats are open because it's not like I would say it is not an academic, it is not a semester course one. So, whatever you feel like, the way you can your ideas, if you are good with words, do it in. If you think you will do it better in poster, go for it. If you think the PowerPoint will be easier for you, the topic is given. It's you had to advocate for mental health. Advocacy for health means that you need to spread awareness among the people that mental health is important and you need to take care of it, and if needed you need to go to the professionals and not to mock the people with mental issues, things like that. So the topic is given. You have to advocate others so that more people take this seriously. We have a growing, I would say, awareness regarding mental health, but still, I would say our majority of people who still mock people, who still make fun of the people who have mental health issues. Yes, you have to advocate. So you need to present an idea. How will you do it? It's like a plan. It's like a proposal, a pitch. You are, if you are already doing something, any workshop or seminars or things like that, you are already working on any of these things, you can share that. Or if you are not currently doing things, you can give a plan, what will you do or what you think you can do, what is in your capacity. So that is basically the idea, that how this can be spread, the word can be spread, how more and more people can get benefit from it. Okay, so it is open to all of you, whatever medium that you would like to share. Okay, so starting now, I hope that I am clear with that. I would like to start with today's presentation. Okay, so today I would like to discuss about psychological first aid. This some of the I would say a topic that is very close to my heart, in the sense that there is, I find there is an increasing need of the people to know. Wait, I just have. Okay. So there is an increasing need that more and more people know what to do when they come up with a person who has some mental health issue, or particularly when there is a panic attack, because that is one of the things which I have found, that if someone is having a panic attack because of his or her situation, his or her mental health, not being able to take the things, the other people who are normal, who claim that they are normal, get into more panic. And that is not very useful to the person who is actually they start having that panic attack. There are people who will be like, okay, it's okay, nothing is serious, you don't have to take care of it, or it's like just show it off. Or there would be people who will be, all of the people around would try to help and be it will become more crowded near the person. These are the things. Or if there is a crisis situation, a disaster situations, there are traumas, there are distress, the people are in stress in an everyday life. We do face a lot of stressors, and we need more and more people to understand that it is better to how to keep calm, to support yourself in a situation, and how you can support others to get out of this. So, moving on with the session's objective. By the end of this session, you'll be able to understand what actually psychological first aid is and why it matters. And as I have come across, know you, a number of participants through these weeks, I do have an understanding that a number of you are from psychological background, counseling, life coaching. So you do have an idea of psychological first aid, but still there are a number of people who are not very well aware of it, or it never hurts to go through the concept once again. Then we need to identify certain common reactions to stress and trauma in adults, basic steps, principles of psychological first aid, and how can we apply supportive communication techniques to help others in distress, recognize limits, and when to refer to professional help. In that scenario, starting off with psychological first aid, it is a humane and practical help that anyone can offer to any other person. This immediate help is not counseling, it is not therapy, and it just aims to stabilize the situation, to not get into more trouble, to provide comfort to the people, and um, connect the individual to the support systems. Um, it's clear now. I'm sorry if there are certain disruptions. There is one message regarding the voice. So I did try to change, shift a bit of my position. Is it clear now? Well, if anyone is open, okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, the question that a difference
हाँ
between stress and depression.
सही
I request the rest
हाँ हाँ राज हाँ पता नहीं हाँ
of the mics, please.
हाँ नहीं सही
The distortions are because of mics of other participants, or I would mute others. Yes, my voice is actually not clear because there are lots of mics open. So if everyone can mute their mics, I hope that my voice will be clear. Okay. Yeah, still let me see. There are mics open. Okay. So I hope now I have closed mute other mics. So I hope that it will be clear now. Mm, right. Coming back to the question that came up, that was depression and stress. Stress is uh, more of a phase of tension uh, in anticipation of something, is a normal reaction. Stress is actually a normal reaction to any of the situation that needs a, a reaction. If you need to, for example, prepare for exams, you have to have stress, but the stress need to be on optimum level. If it extends that level and you are unable to perform and rather just have the extensive anxiety or an activated body. Stress, when you are in stress, your body, your physiological body is more activated, which is preparing you to do the work. But if you are not actually doing the work, but and the body, only the body is prepared for it, you will be in stress. If you actually do the work, you actually go out, um, physically perform the things or actually do the things that are required to complete the task, the stress would be an optimum level. But unfortunately, like in a crisis situation, for example, if I take example of recent floods, the people were in stress because they knew there is a need, the body knew that they need to do something to help themselves or help others, but they were unable to do it. That was leading the stress. Mothers are normally at stress because of the children, because they know they need to do lots and lots and lots of things, but as an individual, as a human being, they are not able to perform all the tasks perfectly like they wanted to, so they are in stress. Yeah, on other hand, depression is sadness. Depression is when you are unable to do a task. Depression is your inability to maybe do everyday tasks and you feel extreme sadness. But stress is dependent. You feel more stressed when you are also not able to do it because you lack the abilities or you lack the knowledge, resources. So, when we talk about stress in with reference to psychological first aid, we also need to identify, like the objective said, that it aims to stabilize, comfort, and connect people, individuals to supports. When we are not able to do it by ourselves, we also need to ask for help or connect to support. So, when we understand stress or emotional reactions, the common emotional reactions to stress or any traumatic event are holistic. There are multiple things associated with it. If we talk about the physical reactions that include fatigue, body aches, sleep problems, in emotional responses, we have fear, sadness, guilt, anger. So, depression can come as part and parcel of stress, but it is different as well. When we talk more about the fear, it comes as anxiety. When we talk more about sadness, it leads to depression. When we talk about the cognitive reactions, what it does to our thinking, that includes confusion, the poor concentration, there are intrusive thoughts which enable us to focus on the things, on the tasks that we can do. So if we are confused, we definitely won't be able to do it properly. With a clear mind, we'll be better able to solve the situation. And as a result, the behavior includes withdrawal, irritability, overworking, substance abuse, the things because we are not able to handle it, it shows in our behaviors. So, when we talk about the core principles or how can we go for psychological first aid, it can be in a situation like I would say, taking an example of an individual having a panic attack. That is a situation that calls for psychological first aid. So in that situation, we have like two models. First, I have to see, okay, if we talk about the whose model look, listen, link, The first thing you have to do is look for safety. If the person is having a panic attack, the person has to be in a safe situation, in a safe place. What are the urgent needs? The person is not able to breathe. To help them breathe is the first task. Everything else would be back. No crowdedness should be near that. It should be an open space. All let ask all the people to get back so that the person could have more air. Ask the person model deep breathing in front of the person, because the person would model you, would copy you. And initially, he or she would be saying that I can't breathe, because that is actually the first reaction, first symptom. But when you model deep breathing in front of it, then they'll be able to replicate it. Grounding, looking for safety, then listening with empathy, without forcing to talk. You can ask if the person wants to share something, but you never ever force. And identify if there is any person else. When the person is able to breathe, normalize a bit, person is not talking, but you can ask some other people what actually have happened, or could that help, or something like that. Or it can be like a locate model. Again, listen, starting with listen, give space for people to talk, active listening, offering the comfort, showing empathy, calm presence. And a person is having stress, and you add up as replicating that stress, it never helps. Normally, the people are like, okay, a person is having stress, I'm more stressful, so that I don't have to deal with it. Your calm will actually calm the other person down. And I have to connect, helping reach family, community, social support, whatever the person's support would be. Attend basic needs if the person has food, rest, safety. Talk about coping. What are the healthy ways of coping, or encourage hope, reassure that distress can lessen over time. These are also, this is like the situation of panic attack would be a singular situation. You currently have it, or you have to immediately respond so that the person having that attack could calm down. But then you have to connect the person to the professionals. Psychological first aid can be given by anyone, but you have to connect what actually is needed. Most of the time, people having panic attacks do know what they need. They already might be going to psychiatrist, psychologist, or are having professional help. So you have to understand that need as well. Uh, if I talk about any other situation, like I would say in an everyday life, in a household, there are normally situations where every other day some person gets more irritated. Once a week there would be one person at least who will get irritated, who will be overburdened, who will be fatigued, who will be confused. And if you add up to the person, to that family member's confusion, if you add up to the fatigue, you will be like, it's the habit of this person. Like normally, I would say in our cultures, we do that to the mothers. Like, okay, my mother has a habit of being irritable, so it's okay. Go sit back in your room and shut the door. When the mother will be fine, we can get talk to her. Actually, okay, there's again. It is a request that please, yeah. Okay, so in that situation, what is needed is not that avoid your mother or avoid the person, avoid the family member who is getting irritated. Look what the person has actually needed. Is she overburdened? Is he overburdened? Who is that? I'm ready. So, okay, please keep yourself. Mute. Okay, so if the mother is, for example, being irritated, being confused, having signs of fatigue, have her head tight, continuous complaints of body aches, headaches, your response should not be to isolate yourself till the time she is fine. You have to look what are the needs. She also needs food, she needs to eat, she needs to have tea, she needs to have rest, she needs some peace. Hearing with empathy, talk to her what she wants. Her basic needs are fulfilled. After that, if the mother has taken okay food, the mother you have given her tea or coffee or whatever she wants, a drink, and you have asked her to take nap. After that, listen to her, ask her what she needs. Overall, there would be a number of things in her mind that she wants you, the family members, to take care of, and not everything should be her responsibility. And link with the support services information. If you'll be like, okay, I don't have enough time to fulfill the demands of my mother. She wants us to do the chores, household chores. We don't have enough time. I'm also going to university or work or things like that. But what you can do is to provide her support. Might be take some tasks off her hand. You can offer cooking or food for a day once a week. You can offer help in laundry, sorting out clothes, anything. All the family members can contribute at least take by taking one task off her head, and that will help her getting back normal. So these are certain things that we should keep in mind, focus on. In that scenarios, the basic principle in all response should include empathy. Empathy includes understanding, active listening. You shouldn't listen with an idea, okay, how to respond, how to actually um, uh, get her what she wants, or it's like active listening would be first listen, first try to understand why a person is focusing on a need which you might feel is very basic. It's not a big deal, but it might be a very, very big deal to that person who is living it, because it might not be an issue of a day or two, it might be an issue of years embodying that lack of need, fulfilling that need. Then also under offering grounding. The basic concept of grounding is getting the person in present, because when you are in a stress, when you are focusing on a future need based on your previous experiences, past experiences, and you are unable to live in the present. It's like you are focusing on what I would have needed tomorrow, in the evening, next week, next month, next year, because and I have to plan it now, I have to work it now, I cannot keep myself shut, I cannot put myself in a situation like I cannot rest unless or until this need is met, which has to be completed by next year. But for that I have to continuously work today as well, because the person is living the unfulfilled need for years. So grounding helps that person come into present. Right now, where are you? Observe that, feel that, listen to the sounds around you, look at the people, the things around you, feel the things around you, feel the people around you, and also validate. Never ever say to a person that this is not yet, this is not a right need, or you are just overreacting, or you are being oversensitive. Never ever say that to a person, because a person who is reacting has a very, very valid reason. The body never lies. It is our embodiment of the needs that we have. Even if we cognitively tell the person, or if we cognitively tell ourselves that it is okay, it is fine, it it never matters, or things like that, but our body, our, I would say, the neuroreceptive self, the feelings, the gut feelings, they never lie, even if we cognitively understand that. Once it was like, I was doing a diploma, and I had, there was a task, there was an assignment, and when I have done that, I submitted that. My supervisor said that you understood this concept intellectually. At first, I find it like an appreciation, because that is what we are told throughout our academic journey, that we have to learn a concept intellectually. Being intellectual is a plus sign. But when we talk about feelings, when we talk about counseling, when we talk about people skills, being intellectual is actually not a good thing. You have to understand in a deeper level. You have to understand that concept in a much, I would say, internal level. Yes, that is an issue. In our culture, we do have judgments. We belittle others. Uh, there is also a reason why we belittle others. Normally, it is like, if we are not able to do it, if we were not able to get that, when I wanted this particular thing, when I wanted to, for example, if when I wanted to start exercising, everyone was like, you cannot do it, girls don't do it, or things like that. But now this girl is going for exercise. How shameful, how selfish. Actually, you have actually wanted to do that. Then there is, if uh, I wanted to have go out for a coffee, or just for shopping, everyone was like, no, don't spend money like that, or you don't earn it, or things like that. You'll be like, if anyone else is spending it on simple shopping, or simple having a cup of coffee, you'll be like, oh, this coffee can be made in 100 rupees or 20 rupees at home. Why you are spending like 1,000 or 2,000 in a coffee shop? You are overspending, or things like that. So that is also a reason. Whenever we have, we also need to spread that awareness. This is something that only comes up uh, with conscious awareness, with an understanding, identifying why we are judging that, why another person is judging, even, and that perspective even helps us to be less judgmental to those who are judging us. Like, if you are receiving a judgmental comment, you are receiving the negative comments from others, particularly these are some things which are by our family members, or things, society, people. Look at the person and be empathize to the person, that they were not able to fulfill those needs. So it's okay if they are feeling that way, if they are saying some things like that, feel sorry for them. Try, if you can, sometimes offer them, okay, please join us for a coffee. All that judgment will go down. Definitely not every time, but once a year, might be once a month, once a year, whatever your relation is. So that judgment also come down, and you'll also feel that yes, they also needed that empathy, they also needed that me time, which was not given to them, and they are doing it to us. So rather than we are also judgmental to them, we can help them or support them. Okay, so that is basically, yes. And I would also request the admin to please share the attendance form, because they'll also need some time to do that. So, okay, some aspects for the psychological first aid also comes back to the same things which we had talked earlier with reference to self-care and boundaries. We are discussing it throughout our fellowship, that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You need to care for yourself as well. Your body also need rest. Your body also need nutrition, relaxation, journaling, and your mind need to understand what is the realistic thinking. When we are working with the people in distress, we also feel so much drained by them, that it's actually, being empathetic is also a curse. Those who feel for others more are also more fatigued, because that also takes up lots of energy, and you are like, okay, I need to do everything for them. For example, like I said, that if you feel like they have never gone to a coffee, and okay, once a while I can ask them to join for a coffee, but then it will be like every week they'll be like, okay, let's go for coffee. But you cannot do it. You might go for coffee every week for yourself, but you might not be able to afford it for the people around. So you need to understand, have a realistic thinking. You need to have social contact. You have to understand, have a support from faith and other support systems. And you also need to set boundaries. You need to understand and tell people that I am here, I am with you, but I can only do what is in my hand, what I am capable of. If I am not able to do it, if I cannot fix it, I I can't. And that is the reality. You need to communicate that to others as well, and also know when you have to refer. If there are um, serious cases, you need to refer them to others, to psychologists, psychiatrists, social workers, whatever need is. We need to love ourselves, yes, and set boundaries. So, with that, the final thoughts for this session. Psychological first aid is about presence. It's empathy and connection. Just being there, just being empathetic at times do wonders than being just intellectually around somewhere, but not empathetically connecting to the person. And you don't have to have answers. You don't know it all. You just have to show care. You just have to feel the care. And also, if you just superficially show the care, that is also obviously, that is very obvious, and all at times rejected as well. So better to have an empathetic care. And even a very small act from you would be able to make very big differences. Sometimes it's, even if you have talked to a person nicely, if you have just provided some support or even a silent space to another person, and you'll be surprised to know later on how much that have impacted the other person who was in stress, in distress. who was not able to cope it, who just needed to feel that yes, if I fall down, there would be someone to hold me up. So just try to be there for people around, but first take care of yourself. So that is basically from my side, and I hope that I am able to share some things which were in my mind um, these days. And as we are going through the last second half, last parts of our fellowships, so I would really like to have your feedback, have your understanding, reflections on LinkedIn pages as well, on to have an idea that how we can end that, or there are like next sessions with reference to leadership, advocacy, and things, how we can further it into the community. Your projects would also be part of it, but apart from that, I also would like to have your reflections. And thank you so much. Uh, this is it. Okay, a project once again. I did started it earlier. So we just have a minute or so. Meanwhile, you fill your attendance. Once again, you have to present how you can advocate about mental health. It can be a Word document. If you think you can write it down well, give it in a Word document. If you think you are able to present a poster, you can make good posters. Make a poster and show how can you spread awareness about advocating for mental health, how you will spread awareness among people that mental health is important, and if you need, if there are troubles which you cannot solve, you need to go to professionals. They are there to help you. So that awareness, how you can spread that, or you can make a PowerPoint presentation. And if in the final reflection session your project is selected, you'll need to present that in a 2-3 minutes to the audience. How will you advocate that? Okay, so this is it from my side, and inshallah we'll meet on Wednesday with another topic. You have to submit on Google Classroom. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.